ราะว่าเป็นฝรั่งเนาะผมอยู่ที่นี่ประมาณ11ปีแล้วนะครับผมชอบTenatakมากเลย Don't tell your mother like it's okay just don't tell your mother nobody needs the mindset coaching but to answer your question absolutely every single person in this world could benefit from it
Wow Shut up and take my money We will talk about Punnat and you
Who's that?
You Punnatสวัสดีครับเทนาตักทอล์กวันนี้มีแขกรับเชิญที่พิเศษเป็นอย่างยิ่งนะฮะอย่างแรกเลยเขาไม่ใช่คนไทยครับแล้วก็อีกอย่างหนึ่งก็คือเขาทำหน้าที่ที่หลายคนอาจจะไม่รู้ว่าในวงการโป๊กเกอร์เนี่ยมีหน้าที่นี้อยู่นะครับสิ่งที่เขาทำคือเขาเป็นเบื้องหลังความสำเร็จของนักโป๊กเกอร์หลายคนหนึ่งในนั้นก็เป็นนักโป๊กเกอร์ที่เราเพิ่งสัมภาษณ์ไปนั่นก็คือโปรปุณณัฐนะครับมือหนึ่งของไทยนั่นเองสิ่งที่เขาทำเนี่ยเขาเรียกว่าโป๊กเกอร์ mindsetโค้ชนะฮะซึ่งทำอะไรบ้างเดี๋ยวเรามาทำความรู้จักกับเขาไปพร้อมๆกันเลยนะครับคุณแกรนท์การ์ดเนอร์สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ Thank you so much for having me guys It's a pleasure
Are you ready?
One moment
Okay
I'm nearly ready Let me just put on my brand new jacket
Okay Wow
Okay here we go เป็นทีมโปรแล้วนะครับเป็นTenatakทีมโปรแล้วครับผม Yeah
Don't you think it's not too small for you, right?
It's okay. It's my secret. It's how I look big, Wear the clothes nice and tight. It's make your muscles look bigger. It's our secret.
That's why. Okay, but when I do that, my tummy look bigger.
I can't help you with this one. Sorry about that. Can't hide that.
Okay. So let's start with it. I've heard that you can speak Thai a little bit. Would you like to show us a bit?
ครับผมสวัสดีครับทุกคนผมเป็นคนไทยแล้วนะครับผมชอบประเทศไทยมากเลยผมอยู่ที่นี่ประมาณ11ปีแล้วนะครับผมชอบTenatakมากเลย It's truly an honor to be here When you guys ask me to come I think wow this is really amazing for me Follow you guys for a long time
And thank you for be part of this program today.
Thank you so much.
I think you can share us a lot of new knowledge about something in poker.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Let's start with it. Can you tell us a bit about yourself? Where
sure.
you're from and where you're based right now?
Okay, so originally from the UK. Studied in the UK as well. Studied sports science and psychology. In my last year university, I knew I want to be a professional poker player. Sorry, mother. But this is my dream and I'm going to chase it. I'm 32 years old now, nearly 33. I think when I graduated, I was 21, 22. One-way flight ticket to Thailand. And the reason for that is because I wanted to play online professionally. And the first way to try and make that happen is to cut my expenses down. Obviously, rent in Thailand, food here much cheaper than the Western world. Back then, I was a big fish. I'm still a fish, of course, but back then, even bigger fish. And after university, had the dream, I want to be a professional poker player. So moved to Thailand, as I said, 10 or 11 years ago. And we're still here. This is still home,
Which part of England that you from?
Originally from Birmingham, so central England. Hi, Mom. Miss you, love you. But I mean, I much prefer the Asian world compared to Western society. I love your culture. I love your people. The vibes here. Also, I think like the weather. It might sound silly, but it has a big factor on people's mood. You go outside, the sun is shining, everything's great. If it's raining every day, in the Western world, it can start to wear you down and affect your mood.
And like that, Thai people, lots of Thai people love English football.
Of course. It is the best league in the world. Can't deny that. Has the strongest teams and the best players for sure. Aston Villa. So it's quite a good year this year.
Yes, of course.
My dad is very happy. Hello, father. He's flying right now.
And way better than my team. I'm a United fan. You got my Radford.
Okay, we took him. We stole Rashford.
Please take him.
He's doing great. We love him.
Okay. And how did you come up with the name Fitness falang?
เพราะว่าเป็นฝรั่งเนาะ
of course
ผมชอบ fitness มากเลยนะครับ
Okay.
So about 6 years ago I'm playing poker professionally on that time but I want to do something on the side
Okay.
I want to have something more fulfilling something more rewarding so I was actually planning to do fitness content in Thai language
Okay.
yeah I wanted to speak in Thai and do fitness content but 6 years later I still haven't started poker is too much poker really like take over my life again and that is how I transitioned to mindset coaching I'm sure we will get into this soon
of course.
but this is the thing that replaced the potential fitness content but yeah I still keep the name people call me fitness falang so yeah why not
But because then so if ใครต้องการติดตามฟิตเนสฝรั่งก็เข้าไปที่ IG นะฮะแล้วก็เซิร์ชหาฟิตเนสฝรั่งเลยเพียงแต่ว่า but no content about fitness at all
only poker
only poker okay so you told me that you've been living here in Thailand about like 11 years right now right
yeah
so why Thailand because there are other country around this area that might be compete with Thailand in terms of the location for you to choose so why Thailand
they compete but they don't win
Oh, thank you.
So I traveled around Asia. I wasn't set on Thailand at first. Let me just be clear with that. I came here, as I said, try and find somewhere with cheaper expenses, but immediately fell in love with your country. And of course, your people is a big reason for that. Very welcoming. And I just felt like this is me. This matches my vibes and my energy. I have traveled around Asia looking for other potential places, but honestly, nothing competes with Thailand. For me, it's just by far the best country in Asia. So I feel like I made a good choice, and if it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
And are you stay in Bangkok or outside?
Yeah, so recently just moved back to Bangkok.
Okay.
I started out living in Bangkok for 6 years, moved to Phuket for 4.5. And now I've been back in Bangkok for like 6 months. I'm doing so much traveling for poker in and out of Thailand.
Yes,
so to stay in Bangkok logistically is much easier. It makes sense.
Yes. And before becoming a mindset coach, when did poker come into the picture for you?
Wow. Let me try and remember. 18 years ago. Yeah, so it's 18 years ago. One of my friends, he's like a role model of mine. He's a bit older. He started playing the game and he would come to me say, I made $50 today. I said, what? $50? You know, I'm 15 years old. This money for me is crazy. So I started to look at hobby back then, poker back then as a potential hobby. Where maybe we can make like a little bit of money on the side. 18 years ago.
So in England, when you want to play poker, you need to go to like poker room, right? There are no home game or...
I have a naughty story. I've been a bad boy.
Sure.
So I was 15 years old. I went into my father's bedroom because they do have casino, but you need to be 18 years old.
Yes.
So I took my dad's passport and his credit card. I made him a poker account in his name. And yeah, Philip Gardner was playing poker online for a few years, but then I needed to cash the money out to his bank, so I have to tell him. And I didn't steal, okay? Ben Buddhist nakab, ben kontai jing jing. Whatever money I use from his card to deposit, I put the cash into his drawer. So I don't steal, I just steal his identity. And we're starting like this 18 years ago.
Wow.
When I need to cash out, I have to confess to him like, hey, I'm using your ID. So don't tell your mother, you know, like it's okay, just don't tell your mother. And then as soon as I'm 18, old enough to play in casinos, we start playing as Grant Gardner then,
Are you success in terms of poker playing?
Yeah, I would say so. When I had the dream to move to Thailand and be professional, I came here, I think I had about $3,000 in my pocket, so about 100,000 baht. And this is everything. This is my money for food expenses and also my bankroll for poker.
Wow, that's
so it's really really living on the edge. But I really put my head down and focused. I knew exactly what I needed to do. And now 10, 11 years later, I'm still playing poker, semi-professional, on the side of the coaching, and still profitable as well. So I think every year for the last 10 years has been profitable. So It's been
And
great.
then what happened? What was the moment that made you want to go from being a player and becoming a coach?
Yeah, great question. As I said, I wanted to do something on the side. I felt like at this point, poker is still a passion of mine, but long term, I want to give back to people. I've always been a coach before poker. It was swimming, then it was football. So I always like, working with people. It's very rewarding and satisfying when someone comes to you and say, hey, you helped me so much, or I did this, I used to do that, but now I do this. It's all your help. It's give you these feel-good vibes. So for me, it naturally felt like to step into the role of a mindset coach for poker players. It made sense. Also, around this time, I started to work with a life coach and therapist. Shout out to Basim Yafai. He's absolute legend.
Okay.
And he is the man that got me on this path. He's the one that first introduced me to something called NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. When I see this working for myself, I think, wow, this is amazing, helping me to like really change my internal world, make me more positive, more confident. The biggest thing is being able to control my emotions. That's what I noticed. So then when I went and sat at the poker table, I could see these transferable skills now making me a much stronger player. Then I realized I have to show this to the world. I have to take NLP, combine with poker, and push this out to the world. And that is how I created my Master of the Mindset program. Yeah.
I also saw a lot of Buddha illustrated on your IG. So does it have something to do with the thing you do now?
Yeah, so a lot of the things I'm trying to teach to my clients, I actually have a free audio track on my website. Please go check it out. It's called Installing the Qualities of the Buddha at the Poker Table. And we're trying to get people to understand that this is full circle. It's all connected and it's all linked. And essentially everything you do away from the poker table will influence how you feel and how you act when you are at it. Now we use the Buddha as the example because he's the perfect person, right? He's doing all the right things, living life as a good human being should do. He's always present. He's always focused. He doesn't let his emotions take over him. These are all the qualities that a true professional poker player needs. So it's literally try to be like the Buddha in your life and at the poker table, and it's going to give you a lot of success. Yeah, especially when it comes to like the mindset side of things. That's why I chose to specifically focus on mindset. The theory of the game, you have so many coaches out there. You have the solvers, the GTO wizard. That is there for anyone, anytime. You can go to your computer, you can open it up, you can start studying the game. I don't want to tap into that world because there's too much competition. I can't beat these AI softwares. But mindset, completely different. So that's what I take as my niche and focus in this.
I love the way you talk about Buddha himself because he must be the good poker player himself, right?
Yeah, I'm glad he's not here now because he would take all of our money for sure. Yeah.
ไม่รู้บาปหรือเปล่านะครับพูดอย่างนี้แต่ว่า but right he got like the quality of the good poker player.
Yeah, and that is why I chose to combine the Buddha as part of my logo. I changed the hands from this to this. Because this is always my symbol of love. So I'm taking this as my logo for my business. And I need to shout out my business partner, of course. So I'm not doing this alone. I'm actually teamed up with a hypnotherapist. Her name is Ilse Zolt. She lives in the UK. And the reason we combine together the neuro-linguistic programming that I use, this works on a conscious level. So this will be like me and you right now. We're conscious, we're talking, and we program this through. Whereas hypnosis or hypnotherapy, it works on the subconscious mind. So it hits the brain very deeper. So me and her now working as a team, we're programming thoughts, feelings on not just conscious, but subconscious level as well. Yeah.
It's so interesting. So what's a typical coaching session like for you? Like if I'm a poker player that would like you to coach.
Okay.
So what
I think your average session will include starting off with a little bit of talking. NLP, the way that I can actually use NLP in a very effective way is firstly understanding the issue at hand. I can't understand that if I don't talk to you and get you to open up, right? That's the biggest thing I need from a client. I need honesty and openness. You might come to me and you say, I have this problem. and I ask you, well, where's this problem coming from? And you say, it is this. But it is not that. That is the tip of the iceberg that is above the water. That is what we can see. When you go under the surface, now we actually see the full scale of it. Now we get to the deep-rooted issues. We will first break down your own false beliefs about the problem until you see it exactly for what it is. You're not in denial. You're not playing the victim. You say, oh, yeah, I have this problem, and I very see it clearly now. You're right. It's because of this, and this is me. That's the first stage, acceptance. If no one is going to accept and be aware, you can't change. This is why the classic phrase, you can't change people. They can only change themselves. It's so true. I can only change someone and help them if they come to me ready for help. So just with a little bit of talking to break down these like false beliefs.
How long does it take to finish this session?
Oh, it depends. It can be a very long process, right? The more mental blockages somebody has or beliefs they have, the longer it will take for me to get through to them. But again, I have a lot of like NLP techniques up my sleeve. I can try to use them on the fly as we go to give you this light bulb moment. Going back to Basim Yafai and working with him in my first session, I just started crying. He used a technique on me which gave me this light bulb moment. It showed me what I've been looking for maybe 1 to 2 years at the time in seconds. It eliminated all of my bias, my victim mindset, and I was actually able to say, wow, this is all me. This is all me. And this light bulb moment is very powerful, very amazing thing, yeah.
I have problem when I got into the second half of the tournament, like after level 7.
Okay.
I might got like some 50 big buy stack. After that, I got insecure. I'm not taking risks. I'm play too safe. I'm called to feel. And then after maybe 2 level, I got only like 15 big buy. And then I cannot play anything else but waiting to all in.
Okay, so what you gave me there is the tip of the iceberg, right?
Yes.
This is what I'm talking about now.
Yes.
So of course in real time, I don't have the time to be able to go through this, but I give you the recap what I will do.
Okay.
I will now start to ask questions and get your perspective and try to understand why you think these things are happening. And then I'll try to back that up and compare that to what I think I know based on experience, why it's actually happening, and then try to bridge the gap. I'll bridge this gap. I'll show you like where these thoughts, perspectives are coming from. And when you understand that this is not only suboptimal, but it's actually quite negative compared to the thoughts you can be having, these very positive, these self-confident thoughts, you realize how this is not serving you and allowing you to play your best game. Then I'll go to stage 2. I like to get you in a meditative state. So meditation, again, this is why I'm loving the Buddha as my logo, because meditation for my clients is a non-negotiable. This is something you must be doing on a daily basis and installing this into your life. You must essentially try to always be in a meditative state. Of course, we have a lot of sensory information coming in and thoughts will be racing. We're always on our phones. Dopamine is flying. But the more present you can be, the better. And you will train this through the meditation on a daily practice. So I'll put you in a session of meditation, get you in this deep meditative state, very relaxed, very present, and then I'll work my magic. This is then, I'll try and use the best neuro-linguistic programming techniques to help rewire these thoughts and feelings. So when you come out of this meditative state, as I said, it's a conscious level. It's not like hypnosis where you're just woken up and you're like, what happened? And you maybe don't even feel the effects. You remember everything and it's at the forefront of your mind. And for me, this is the most motivating moment of it all, because you now have the answers you've been searching for. You now know why what you were doing before isn't the best way. But you now also have an answer and a path to continue on, to keep being your best version. So then after the session wraps up, I'll give you some homework, some tasks, which are obviously like heavily related to this issue. I maybe ask you to go for a 15-minute walk or something and go through this technique while you're still in this very present state. And then hopefully this sticks. Hopefully this sticks. You then, of course, have to hold yourself accountable in terms of habits and discipline to not slip up and go backwards.
Okay.
But I've given you the blueprints at this point, so it should be easy for you guys to continue on that path at that point. Yeah.
It's all about mindset. It's has nothing to do with the poker technique at all.
I mean, it does cross over at some points.
Okay.
So I've worked with, for example, I have a mindset course called Master of the Mindset.
Okay.
For every specific area, I try to get an expert in. So for reading people and picking up live towels, I work with a behavioral expert and a mentalist. This guy came in, he showed me the psychology of the cues and eyes, where people look when they're lying, how they move, when they're nervous, when they're not. So I ingrain all of this into my mindset course. I truly believe my mindset course covers everything. If there's something else needed, it would already be in there. So we do cross over this mindset to the real world, but not the theory of the game. Again, you can see this is more like psychological aspects of the game, and I try and stick to that. But yeah, this is how I'm trying to come with this approach. So full circle on the mindset stuff, and there'll be some areas where this links over to the game. But the theoretical, the sizings of the pot and, you know, the bet sizings, I leave that to the AI.
So how long does it take for the whole course to, you know,
Yeah,
finish?
great question.
Yeah.
We try to run this on a 3-month basis. The reason being, we have 9 modules. There's a lot of videos to go through. As I said, we feel like it's covering all the areas, so it's intense. The reason we give the 3 months time period, though, is because we're not looking for you to change overnight. If you wake up the next day and you feel different, you're probably just delusional. Nothing has actually changed in that very short frame of time. However, the brain, it takes 21 days to understand what a new thing is. Oh, this is a habit. This is what we're trying to do on a regular. It takes another 21 days for that habit to actually stick. So after 6 weeks, the brain now knows that this habit is actually a routine it wants to keep repeating. There'll be some like dopamine or rewards coming that, you know, backs up that in the brain. And then the following 3 weeks, so after 9 weeks, this new habit now will take place of any older ones that were there before. So going back to your issue, you have these like negative thoughts and you're losing your call in these later stages of the tournament. For you to actually sit in that tournament and truly feel positive, and for all of these older thoughts to not be there at all, we need this 9 weeks time frame. In the first 3 weeks, you're going to have these clashing thoughts in your mind. The old thoughts are still there, but the new ones are coming through. The middle 3 weeks is where the newer behavior or thought or perspective will try and take over the older one. And then the final 3 weeks is where this actually sets. So yeah, we do this on like a 9 weeks. 9 weeks, but the course, because it has a lot of content, we give 3 months for this. So we try and take clients to like a 3 months full transformation.
So like it's like once a week for 3 months, or every day for 3 months?
Great question. So it's every day. Because
every day for 3 months.
The work doesn't stop, right? As I said, things like meditation and stuff like this, I'm trying to install healthy habits into these guys for life. So this should be done on a regular basis. You know, it stems outside of poker. We go into nutrition, exercise, you know, the meditation, the visualization, the healthy habits, also looking at relationships, you know, not just with your partner, but your friends, because poker is depending on the person. It can be a selfish game, right? It's like anything in life. It can take away your energy from other people around you. So I'm trying to find balance in that. I want someone to really chase their dreams in poker, but don't lose sight of what you already have, you know. Don't neglect your family, your friends, and if you have a partner, of course, you need to find the balance. So yeah, I try and do this on a 3 month basis. You have the videos that you guys will go through. And then you also get private sessions of NLP with myself and private sessions of hypnosis. And these sessions are placed at certain points when you've completed a certain amount of videos. So you'll learn the concepts and the topic, and then we actually take you through it firsthand, something like that. You're also in private WhatsApp support group. That's why it's 24/7. That's why it's every day, because I'll be on to you. I'll be waking up in the morning. Have you done your meditation? Show me what you've eaten for breakfast. I want to make sure you're not lying to me and you're actually doing the work.
Wow. Shut up and take my money right now. Okay, but we don't need to see you like privately every day, right?
Correct. No. Yeah, just have me on the WhatsApp. Always there if you need something. Yeah.
So what kind of mindset or behavior makes you think a player might need coaching?
Great question. I would say that nobody needs it, right? And then the word need is a very strong word. Nobody needs the mindset coaching. But to answer your question, absolutely every single person in this world could benefit from it. We're all human. We're all wired the same. And for sure, people like Punnat, for example, they have a very strong mindset already. So when they come to me, my job is obviously much harder to try and help them. But they still can be helped. We're all human. No one is perfect. We all have some kind of flaws. Life is like this, right? Good times, bad times, ebbs and flows, as they say. It's the same with the mindset. So I think the power of a mindset coach comes in when you're in your lowest times. Helping the client to bring themselves back to their top form, to prime their mind, perhaps before a series, is probably where most people can benefit from this, I would say. But yeah, 100%. Everyone can benefit from mindset coaching for sure.
And from what you have seen, with mindset challenges, do poker players run into the most? What problem that they run into the most?
Yeah, it's definitely controlling your emotions. So of course, this can be in many ways, shapes and forms. It's different for everyone. Some people sad, some people angry, some people losing confidence. But it's just being able to control these emotions and also understanding how your own emotions are affected by the variance of the game. For example, you can play your best game, but that doesn't guarantee you will win. How does your mindset and how do your emotions change when that scenario presents itself? So now you try to deal with adversity. Do you lose your confidence? Do you start to second guess and now change your strategy? Because if any of this is happening, that suggests there's big issues and you need a mindset coach. Because in a perfect world, no matter how much adversity you deal with, no matter how many bad beats we take and all the rest of it, our emotions should be this. You know, we're not focused on the outcome because that is left up to the poker gods. We're only focused on the process of what we're doing leading up to the outcome. Did I sleep well? Yes. Did I eat well? Yes. Have I exercised? Did I do my meditation? Did I do my pre-grind ritual this morning? Have I done my study leading up to this tournament? Yes. Now I'm ready. I've done everything I can. I have controlled every factor I can control. The outcome of the deck is out of my control. So that is where my emotions stop. You know, I can be negative towards myself if I'm not doing the work in those areas. Like if I ate, you know, too much fast food last night and stayed awake late on Netflix and I only slept 4 hours before my day 2 of my tournament. Yeah, now I have a reason to be emotionally mad at myself. But when it comes to the variance of the game, it's completely different. So I think my biggest task over the past, let's say 3 to 4 years as a mindset coach is showing people this. Giving them the awareness of how their own emotions change depending on how the variance of the game affects them as well. Yeah.
So I've saw lots of pro player. They look like they can control.
อร่อยมากเลยนะครับ
It's น้ำเปล่า Okay. So I mean when I saw those pro player, behave on the table, most of them look like they can control themselves already.
And their posture is like the Buddha.
Yes, that's true. So why do you think mindset coaching is still important for those pro players?
Great question. They're all human, right? It doesn't matter what skill level we're at. We're all human beings. We're all going to have stresses coming from our personal life as well. And I think that's something that people don't factor in to their poker performance. Everything that is on your mind, your current stresses, it will be there. Whether it's at the forefront of your mind when you're in the hand and you can't even count the size of the pot, or whether it's happening subconsciously, these residuals of cortisol, this stress in your body, this negativity, it will put a mental blockage that will stop you from hitting what I like to call your flow state, your A-game state. When you're in this A-game state, time goes faster. You enjoy things more. Dopamine is higher. You focus more. Everything feels natural, right? You cannot tap into this A-game state, this flow-like state, if you have a lot of like stresses and things on your mind. So these top players, they're still human. So I need to help these guys, sort of using the NLP as a form of therapy to help these guys let go of stresses, to relax. That's where the meditation, the visualization also can come in amazingly well. Meditation, scientifically proven to reduce levels of cortisol in the body and brain. So just sitting there, being present, not having like anything coming at you, just relaxing. It's just very good and helps you to de-stress. So yeah, a lot of these times, the top players, they just want someone to hold their hand, to take them through it. Like, hey, I'm a bit stressed. I need to do this. I can just pay a guy like you who can walk me through it, and I don't need to think. This can be like that for a lot of them.
So in your experience, has there been a player who worked with you and show a big improvement?
Okay. I'm going to be careful what I say here because there's a lot of players. I don't want to leave anyone out. So I was thinking about this question before.
Okay.
And my answer, I will only talk about either main event champions or people that I know are supported by your channel, Tenatak. Okay. We'll come to the Tenatak players a little bit later if we get into speaking about Punnat. But one player that I would like to speak about, he's from the Netherlands. His name is Joris Michael. This gentleman came to me at the start of last year, 2024. He's been playing poker for so many years, so I was super surprised for him to come to me and say, hey, I need your help. I have this issue. I start to have entitlement. What he meant was because people these days, they're getting much better at poker and it's becoming more competitive as a sport. It's not so easy to win anymore. Because he's used to winning, he's now feel like, who are these guys coming here and beating me? I am the king of this game. But actually, he hasn't done any study. He hasn't been putting the work in. So it makes sense everyone is catching up or overtaking him. So he came to me, I ran him through my mindset program, and we have this full internal transformation where, he said, before, I'm very entitled, very negative, and I expect to win, which is very bad. And I wasn't doing the work away from the tables. Fast forwarding from that moment, about 8 months prior to his main event win at Korea Poker Cup last year, I already saw the transformation, and I'm just waiting for the big win to come because I see him now operating completely differently. When he busts the tournament, he have a very, very positive response to that. So all this entitlement completely gone. And in this mindset, this patient mindset, now he has a chance to play his best poker and potentially win. And then, we waited a couple more months and he took down the main event, over 1,000 players in Jeju. I think it was like 1,000 USD buy-in. He got 140,000. It's feel amazing, The most amazing thing about it is for him to come to me and say thank you. Say this wouldn't have happened without your help. And it's like, this is like, I feel like crying right now. This is like the best feeling I can get, right, as the mindset coach. To know that, I've helped these guys.
And how about the most difficult cases that you have?
Interesting. Okay. This is involving love. Love is a magical thing, right?
Wow.
It's a powerful thing. And I had a previous client who was in a very toxic relationship. That's my opinion, though. He saw it very differently. This was the woman of his dreams and blah, 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 But I could see, without emotion, no bias, that this woman is not good for him. Very toxic and holding him back in his life, right? And again, this is a good lesson because you should be careful of your circle, especially in poker. Your closest circle, the people you want to hang around with and study with, you will become like them. So make sure you're choosing like-minded people who are working hard, who want to be successful. In this relationship, he didn't have that same support from his partner, but of course he is in love. How is he going to break up from this relationship and focus on poker, right? So it was my job to try and encourage him and influence him to do this, which sounds crazy. Now, I never would have done this if I wasn't 100% sure, and I reached out to his family as well. I spoke to his mother and I say, hey, because he's in the UK at the time. I'm in Thailand. I spoke to his mother and I say, hey, you're behind the scenes. Do you see these guys arguing, fighting, etc., etc.? Because I don't think she's good for him. She confirmed it straight away. Thank you. I already know this, but he's too weak to move on, to let her go. So this is probably the toughest challenge I had to date. It was trying to get him to believe me, someone he's never actually met, only working with over Zoom, to break up with this girl who he's madly in love with. But 3 years later, he's actually also living in Thailand now, playing poker, pretty successful and very, very happy because, he did actually end the relationship in the end. And only after a couple of months where his feelings of love have subsided, the clouds go away and you see clearly, you were so right. Yeah, I was blinded by love and it's very toxic. Now he's in a much better place, like mentally and financially and physically as well. You look at this guy, he looks like a different man now. Yeah.
Wow, but it sounds good for this player, but then it sounds harsh for that girl, right?
Very
harsh.
Very, for sure.
But that means sometimes you need to get into the personal,
always.
Affair and
always.
Things,
yeah,
right?
Because it's all connected. As I said, right, it's all connected. So if a client will trust me with this and they're willing to open up, then of course I will give them 110%. You give me 100, I give you 110% back. You're paying me for this, I'm not going to lie to you. You want me to help you get to your absolute best version, not just in poker, but in life. I can't lie to you. The only way I'm going to get you there is brutal, raw honesty.
Do I need to be a poker player to be your client?
Actually, great question. Before, no. However, these days, yes. So I decided that I still want to play poker on the side of mindset coaching. So to kind of make sure that I don't get too many clients, I keep my area very specialized, very niche. So it's only poker players, a very niche area who want to focus mainly on poker performance and their mental game. And then secondly, we can bring in all of this personal life stuff. But choosing to do it this way because my passion is still, within the poker world.
And it's good to us as a client because then we know that you will focus on us, case by case, right?
For sure, I think the big thing that I have going for me is the experience. I've been playing professionally now 10 or 11 years. I've been through it all. Someone comes to me with a problem. Maybe I haven't suffered with that personally. But I know about it from a friend, we're all very similar, right? So that's the big thing I have going for me, the experience. And a lot of people, I can see that in them. They like the fact I actually understand them. Yeah.
So I think lots of our audience would love to, explore more about this, but they might not ready to be your client yet. So how do they start working on their mindset by themselves?
Fantastic question. All right, I'm going to go back to it. NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Okay. The reason I love this is because it's out there for everyone and it can be applied to absolutely any situation. So firstly, you must identify the problem that you have or the area you want to improve or work on. These days, especially with AI, you can literally just type neuro-linguistic programming technique for and it's going to suggest you some techniques. Now, the reason I love NLP is because it's fairly basic, it's easy to follow, and you can do it yourself. It's more effective working with a coach or practitioner, but this is how I got to the stage I'm at now. I'm a master practitioner in NLP. I studied my master course, and I used all these techniques for myself. So I didn't actually need a coach or mindset coach to use these techniques for myself. This is how I got into this. I was applying them to my own mindset, my own life, and I saw how this really helped my poker game and being able to control my emotions. So I would say start there. Start researching some neuro-linguistic programming. Also, if you haven't meditated, meditation. This is like a free medicine that I think everyone should be taking advantage of, especially before a session of poker. You want to go to the table feeling focused, feeling present, feeling confident. Any little stresses, you want to kind of put them to the back of your mind for now. And a quick session of meditation and visualization is a very effective way that you can do that. Put yourself in a more of an optimal state. Actually, one technique I want to share with you guys, is one of my favorite techniques. Theodor Holz is a very famous poker player. He's on YouTube. He has a video of him using this concept. It's called anchoring. So anchoring, like the anchor of a boat. So how it works, we try to link the onset of a stimulus, so something happening, with the onset of a feeling or emotion. Perhaps you listen to an old song and you get goosebumps. You got the memories. You were maybe being in a wedding or a time in your life where in the brain this is heavily associated. So we use this concept of association to link the stimulus with the feeling. I actually having it right here. Okay, I actually have my hypno spinner. Okay, so I use this as my anchor for all my clients. If you see someone with one of these as a card protector next to their chip stack, they're probably one of my clients, and actually it's a bit deeper than what meets the eye. So this is the physical stimulus I use, okay? So I get all of my clients at the table. Now to be clear, this needs to be programmed before we're at the table. So I will take them through this procedure and program the anchor. After the anchor is set up, they only need to take this to the table. They will spin this, and now this is the physical stimulus. Them staring into the swirl of this for 5 seconds, that is the stimulus we will choose, okay? We will replicate this in the exact same way every single time. Now, the onset of the feeling we're trying to bring about here is the feeling of calmness, relaxation. This essentially becomes a reset button. So at the table, I make a mistake or I lose a big part, I feel heated, like physically hot. I feel stressed. Before you let any of that build, because this is classic anxiety, the way to deal with anxiety is become aware and then jump out of that state that you are in. If you stay in that stuck state and you let the anxiety snowball, that's where it now will affect you and affect your decision making. So, no, I feel hot, I feel something, reset button. Straight into that, stare into this for 5 seconds, and then actually internally go through the anchor procedure that I've set up with them. Probably takes about 20 to 30 seconds for them to run through it. The installation process, much more long-winded. But in-game, essentially, all it takes is 20 or 30 seconds for them to spin the spinner, go through the mental visualization, use the anchoring concept, and try to reset on the fly. So again, please research anchoring and give it a go. Super powerful stuff.
Wow, it's like when you on the traffic jam and you like maybe angry the motorcycle beside you and then you take this out.
Exactly. And the amazing thing about anchoring is you can choose the feeling that you want. You can choose this when you install it. So I actually had an anchor set up myself with my old NLP coach Basim for in the gym. Okay, I'm in the gym. Perhaps I've got like low energy on that day, and this is specifically weight training. I'm talking about lifting weights. I want to go and do this set of weights, but wow, I got no energy. I'm low on food, and I don't have this like killer mindset. How can I jump into this mindset, like let's go? So he installed the anchor for me. I didn't use this, okay? This is many years ago. My anchor was to fist pump like this 3 times. It must be replicated exactly the same way, in the same speed, so the brain has the association. Otherwise, it's a completely different thing, and there's no association. There's no pattern being formed. So as close my eyes, 1, 2, 3, run through this 20-second anchoring process, open my eyes. I literally felt like I want to kill someone. That's how I can explain it. I got so much energy, like, rah, let's go. I do this anchoring. It puts me into a very like, let's go state. And that allows me to then in the gym perform closer to my optimal performance.
That reminds me of some like Japanese superhero when they want to, get stronger and then
there you go. Maybe they're using NLP. You never know,
something like that.
Who knows?
Wow, I need to do this. Okay. So on the opposite side, if someone want to become a mindset coach, what kind of background would help?
Great question. So as I said, I've already said I've always been into coaching, right? I've loved it. It's always been a passion of mine, helping people. I think that is number one. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter what area you want to coach, you must enjoy coaching. You must enjoy helping people. You must enjoy giving up your time and making sacrifices for others in return for them telling you that it's helping them, that it's it must feel rewarding for you.
Okay.
You know, I see many coaches in the fitness industry, for example, they are there for money. As soon as you've paid and they've got your money in their pocket, they don't care about you.
Yeah.
They don't care about your progress and if you're, you know, lifting stronger weights or doing anything better. It's a transaction. Whereas some coaches, they're messaging you every morning, hey, why didn't you fill in your tracking sheet last night with your workout and you didn't tell me what you ate for your last meal? Is a passion. Is a real passion. So that's number one.
Okay.
Only consider getting into coaching if you have the passion for helping others. And then I'll say, beyond that, when it comes to specifically mindset coaching,
Okay.
have a tool that you know works for yourself. Because if you have this tool and you know it works for yourself, you're way more passionate and enthusiastic to spread this to others. So for me, it's NLP. And for my business partner, it's hypnosis. She actually overcame like periods of depression. She lost her father, went into a very like deep cycle of depression, and found hypnosis. Used hypnotherapy to bring herself out of these dark times, to install a bit more positivity into her mind. So now my business partner, Ilse, she's a master at hypnosis. As soon as she went through that period, she started to study it. And now she's so passionate about it. And not only that, because she knows it works for herself, she's able to, you know, be passionate, enthusiastic, and push this to others. So yeah, find your tool, find your niche, and just run with that. Yeah.
Okay. And do you need some kind of certificate to become a mindset coach?
To be honest, you're asking the wrong person. You know, I don't know whether I'm operating on an illegal wavelength here, but I do have my master practitioner certificate for NLP. So actually, even though I title myself as mindset coach for poker players, actually in the sessions, I am essentially an NLP practitioner because most of the things I do always relating back to NLP as well. Yeah.
I got you some new slogan. NLP for better NLH.
There you go. I love it.
Okay.
There you go. I'm getting that made on a t-shirt for sure.
Okay, sure. Then we will talk about Punnat and you. How
Who's
did
that?
you Punnat?
Who's that?
Okay, you got me. How did you and Punnat start working together?
This is a crazy story.
Okay.
So actually, Pashara, Tay, yeah, I worked with Tay before, and
Okay.
Tay is the one that referred Punnat to me. Pashara asked me to send him the Zoom link for the call.
Okay.
He then forwarded that to Punnat. So I had no idea who was coming into my Zoom call. I just knew it's a friend of Pashara's who needed help.
Okay.
Punnat Punsri wants to enter your call. This came up on my laptop. I nearly fell out of my chair. He's my idol. I watch him.
Okay.
He's my idol on TV. I love Thailand. You know, it's like, wow. It's like David Beckham for me. It's really like that.
Okay.
It takes like 5 seconds. I cannot calm myself down. So I think, let's just start the call. So I start the call and I'm
Maybe
like,
you can use your.
this is not going to work in this moment. You know, this one is good, but
Okay.
this one is next level.
Okay.
I just answer the call. I'm like, oh my God, bro, you're my idol. How are you? This is crazy. Blah, blah. I don't hide my emotion. You know, I just tell him really like, I had no idea who's coming and I see your name.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
He is actually in Cyprus at the time at Triton.
Okay.
He's in his pajamas, in his hotel room.
Yeah.
So obviously for me, this is like mind-blowing. You know, I now have Punnat behind the scene in his pajamas.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he say to me, I want to work on this. I have this issue and da-da-da-da-da. And so I have limited time because he is actually preparing to go downstairs for the final day of the tournament.
Wow.
So I got like 1 hour to work with.
Okay.
So I try my best. I do some techniques. I take him through a little visualization and meditation, specifically centered around that final table. Get him to visualize his opponents and the chip stacks in real time. So I always do my research because I knew when Punnat has come through, I know he's at Triton. I'm a massive poker fan. I say, just wait 2 minutes. I get up the final table and look at the players so I can use that in his visualization. So in real time, we're going to imagine the actual scenario we are going to be in later today. He had his biggest score at the time. I think it was like 2.1 something million USD. Which is, of course, a bit of coincidence. You know, I'm not taking all credit, but it's amazing then that Punnat linked our session with success. He's like, wow, like this worked. You helped me a lot. So he came right back. So that's how mine and Punnat's journey started together. Yeah.
But if he failed that night,
Yeah,
it would be bad for you.
It would be bad for me.
Okay.
But that's the power of this, right? You know,
Okay.
it works. It really works. Yeah.
And from your first session until now, have you seen him grow as how he grow as a poker player now?
Yeah, I think as a poker player, he's definitely grown, but I'm not taking any credit for that. Punnat is amazing at what he does. There's a reason he's at the top.
Okay.
I did an interview with Stephen Chidwick before, another elite player. He says something amazing. You don't make a big step in poker, you just make little ones.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Punnat didn't get to where he is now from like jumping there overnight.
Okay.
It's a lot of small, habits centered around study and discipline that have got him there. I've seen him grow in the last 2 years as a poker player, but again, that's only because of the work he's doing away from the tables. One thing I will say that I've seen growth in though, that is more so him as a person, not him as a poker player, is that now he is much better at dealing with adversity. Punnat won't mind me sharing this with you guys. During some of Punnat's darkest times, he actually had his biggest moments of success. So I think most commonly for someone, when we have stresses in our life, we're not feeling good, we just kind of like roll over and die. We give up. We wait until we're feeling better to go and do what we want to do. For Punnat, no, that's not the case. He's going to do it anyway. That's why he liked to work with a mindset coach like myself, because he say, hey, have these problems, but I am playing this series whether you like it or not. Can you help me and just get me into the most optimal state? And he is never fully ready, but it doesn't matter. He's really proved to me that during times of adversity and darkness, don't give up. Keep going. You're never gonna feel 100% ready for anything. You gotta get used to feeling comfortable with feeling uncomfortable.
Does he has like this anger thing?
He has the spinner, but he doesn't like to use it. Yeah, he doesn't like to use it. Punnat, he's one of those.
Yeah.
Special guy.
Special guy. Okay, so besides Punnat, are there any other player that you have worked with that you can talk about them? Yeah.
So like I say, we're not going to name drop here and then have some people like left out and feeling like, oh, why don't you mention me? This is only main event champions and Tenatak supported players, okay? Pashara, who I mentioned, okay? He's actually what started this whole journey off for me working with Thai players. He's actually helped me to get many referrals over the last couple of years. Also Joshua McCulley as well. I see you guys support the Aussie Joshua McCulley now and again. He is ongoing, like one of my clients, and also a really good friend of mine now. And then I had 2 main event champions I've worked with as well. One of them we already mentioned, Sir Yoris Michael. And then also a Vietnamese player, Mrs. Bao An. She won the main event at Poker Dream 7. And I was there actually hosting the event because I work as the host for Poker Dream. And I was crying. When I'm supposed to be working, professional, announcing the winner, I'm just tears in my eyes because it's such a magical moment to see her win this tournament and know what has happened behind the scenes, know the adversity she dealt with and still gave it her best, still came out on top. So yeah, it's like magical moment. But no, I've worked with hundreds of players, mostly online, all over the world. And I love it. I love what I do.
So that's mean your clients can work with you like remotely, right?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a big believer in trying to set someone up to be able to do it themselves. Like you give a man a fish, you feed him today. You teach a man to fish and you feed him for life. So I'm trying to have the same approach. I want to give you the blueprints and show you as quickly as possible in these sessions. So we don't have to be in person. We can be on Zoom and I can send everything to you in documents and on Google Drive. Then it's up to you to go away and actually do the work, And maybe you want to come back for some sessions at certain points for accountability if you're slipping up. But if you're disciplined and doing the work, you don't need me to hold your hand, At that point, I just want you to fly and I'm happy to see you spread your wings.
Yeah, back to the last question. Maybe you answer like most of the important part already. Did you have anything to add more about the good quality of those top player who has in common?
Yeah, so like I was saying, there's no secret, right? There's no secret recipe.
Yep.
It's all coming down to the discipline and the habits.
Okay.
Now, we don't see these guys doing the work,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Like, trust me, these guys are working behind the scenes. They are studying the theory of the game.
Yeah.
Not only this, but it's very common for the top players to have other friends that are also on an elite level.
Okay.
When you have another person that's on your level, this is where you can take the game to the next level, because everything you will study from a theoretical baseline, that is assuming that everyone you play against is an AI robot that is playing poker perfectly.
Yeah.
In reality, that's not the case. So you need someone who actually plays and understands the population. You can take this data from what these AI softwares are telling you, but you can interpret it in a way where you know how this can actually be applied to the games you're playing in. For example, it tells you to bluff with a certain hand 75% of the time. But in this game I'm playing, everyone is recreational and no one folds. No one cares about money.
Yeah.
Perhaps I'm playing in a private game with businessmen as an extreme example.
Yeah.
Now, instead of bluffing 75%, I speak with my friend. He's like, oh, population, they're overcalling, you know,
Okay.
they're not folding enough. So we will change this from 75% frequency down to like 45.
Okay.
So now in your mind, you know exactly the ranges of hands that in theory you're supposed to bluff.
Yeah.
But now we cannot bluff these hands. We can only bluff like the best combos
Okay.
because this guy is not going to fold. Something like that, yeah. So I think two common things. Good solid discipline with the habits,
Okay.
and a good solid support circle.
Okay. And what's the hardest part about coaching players who are already super successful like that?
Actually, there is no hard part about coaching them
Okay.
because they're human. So once I've already got them through the door and we start the coaching session, it's easy, right? It's my passion. I know I'm good at it. I love it. And I come away with like good feedback from them. The hardest part is getting them to take the coaching. They think they don't need it. They're
see.
already so successful in what they do. And for me, I have only 500,000 USD on my Hendon mob. If you are a crusher and you won millions of dollars, why would you trust this guy who hasn't won as much money at you playing poker? You know, if he is so good and such a master, why hasn't he won 20 million, 50 million? So this is the hardest part for people to understand, that mindset is a very niche skill set. And I've studied it so much that when someone comes to me, it doesn't matter whether they're elite or complete beginner, I will be able to identify some areas we can optimize. Of course, it's much harder with an elite player. There's less things that we can improve. But like I say, no one's perfect. There's always areas there that can be optimized and primed.
You are the first mindset coach that I've known. So how many out there? Is there like a lot of mindset coach?
I think in Asia, not so much.
Okay.
So I'm actually claiming the statement that I am the number one mindset coach in Asia for poker players. This is even in my bio on Instagram. Very arrogant for sure. But it's actually a bit of an inside joke because there are no other mindset coaches in Asia. I know there's a lot of mindset coaches in the Western world, not so much in poker, but for performance. A lot of businessmen who are running like, you know, their own private business, who want to learn how to boost productivity of themselves and their employees. They'll work with a mindset coach. Also, working in, you know, business can be stressful. The mindset coach can be a therapist as well, reducing the stress. So it's very common in the Western world. In poker in the Western world also, it's a thing. Whereas now, this is why I'm trying to tap into this in Asia, because I feel like the timing is perfect. I feel like people are only just seeing like this can be a thing. And I expect in the next 5 to 10 years, this like mental game aspect of poker to blow up in Asia, and the demand for mindset coach will start to grow. And if I can get in there early, by that time I'm already established, I've already experienced, I've got testimonials from clients. It's really what I'm trying to set myself up for.
the number one mindset coach in Asia. Yeah. We heard you enjoy the Tenatak channel, right? Okay. How did you find us, and what kind of content do you like?
Yeah, so actually I first found you guys at a Poker Dream series like two to 3 years ago. And Tent.
Okay.
Yeah. P Tent was playing there, and I'm at his table. We start speaking, and I see all the cameras, and I see the Tenatak logo. I think, wow, this is amazing, you know, because I never saw anything like this in Thailand. Actually, I didn't even know people play poker in Thailand, you know. So when I saw this channel, I loved it because for me, ผมคิดว่าโป๊กเกอร์เป็นกีฬานะครับเป็นสปอร์ตนะครับไม่ใช่ gambling นะครับเมื่อผมเห็นวิดีโอของเทนทักนะครับผมมีความสุขมากนะครับเพราะว่าโป๊กเกอร์ดูแบบสปอร์ต 100% ในวิดีโอนะครับ you make it look so legit and you give this real feel of a sport to it and most importantly you're creating a community. That's what I love. You're bringing Thai people together. You're starting to showcase that poker can be a healthy competitive sport. Like you said, it's becoming the new chess, you know. And big thanks to Tenatak for this movement in Thailand. Yeah, without you guys, for sure, there'd be less eyes on poker right now. So, thank you.
So, what are your future plans in this career? What next for you?
So, like I said, I want to be the #1 mindset coach for poker players in Asia. But I don't want that to be self-claimed. I want that to be spoken about by the people. So really, that is my goal right now. I'm still playing poker while wearing my Tenatak jacket. Okay, let's go. With the Thailand flag behind me, of course. And just to get myself more well-known in the poker world as someone that is in this mindset coaching business for the love of it. That's doing it because he's passionate about it and he knows what he's saying. He's not doing it for money. He's doing it because he wants to be the #1. That is my goal. That's my dream.
And are you gonna stay in Thailand like for a long time?
For sure. Yeah. I love Thailand.
Are you settled here?
I'm settled here for sure.
Okay.
We never know, right? Life is life's short. We never know what's waiting around the corner. But for now, super happy here and definitely keep calling Thailand my home.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for being here, talking to us. So, if I think many Tenatak fan might getting to know you like for the first time in this program. So, if they want to follow you, if they want to know more about you, just give them the information, please.
Yeah, alrighty. So I hope to see all of you dreamers at a Poker Dream series because I'm hosting for Poker Dream. So you can come and visit me live in the flesh at all of those series.
I got to the final table and I'm the runners up.
Okay.
In one of the Poker Dream tournament.
Oh, getting McLoy in the cup. Let's go.
Let's
go. But you still need a dragon.
Yes.
You don't have the dragon yet.
Yes,
but it's coming. So come and say hello to me at a Poker Dream series. Or feel free to find me on social media as well. I have my personal Instagram, which is Fitness Falang. I have my Poker Mindset Instagram, which is Master Mindset Poker. And then I also have my website, which is masterotmindset.com. But the website is more of like a sales page and has my testimonials. If you want to contact me, then Instagram is the best way to go.
Don't forget to add the slogan NLP for the better NLH.
Okay, got it.
Thank you very much for today.
Thank you so much.
Really informative, and I think lots of our audience would like to know more about how their mindset could be, improved. ขอบคุณสำหรับการติดตามนะฮะแล้วก็เราเจอเขาที่ไหนขอให้ระวังจำหน้าเขาให้ดีเพราะเขาเข้าใจภาษาไทยนะฮะอย่ามาแบบคุยเรื่องว่าแฮนด์เราเป็นยังไงเป็นภาษาไทยนะเขารู้หมดนะฮะต้องระวังตัวด้วยแล้วก็ติดตามกันต่อไปฮะว่าเทน่าตักทอล์กจะมีแขกรับเชิญคนไหนมาอีกสำหรับวันนี้ขอบคุณมากครับสวัสดีครับ Thank you สวัสดีครับ